Yeah.
All right, everybody, what's up? It's Eli,
good?
my boy JR. It's
good?
about time we get into some NFL playoffs.
Let's do it.
We've got
2017.
2017 wild card weekend. We've got 4 games to talk about. We're each going to give our positions, and we're going to see what's going down. So,
Let's do it.
let's get right into it. We're going to start off with the first game this Saturday, tomorrow. We're going to talk about the Raiders at the Texans. I'll let you take the first one on this. Who you got in this game?
Alright, so this game is pretty crazy just because of what's going on with the Raiders. At one time, you might argue that they were the best team in the league, or at least up there.
Yeah.
But all the injuries, Connor Cook is the first player in NFL history to start at quarterback in his first game in the playoffs, which is insane. And I think that he's clutch, and I think that the Raiders could win, but also it's going to be really hard. They're going to have to play as a team, really unite behind Connor Cook, and I just don't see that happening. When Carr went down, the vibe was just killed. And then after McGloin went down, now the vibe is they got killed against Denver, who didn't even make the playoffs in Week 17, and that was a big game for them.
Yeah.
So I got the Texans. I don't think the Texans are that good, honestly. But
I know. So that's the rough thing, and it's in Houston. You don't even have the crazy Raider fans in the crowd going crazy for you. So I don't know. I think although all this stuff is going down with the Raiders, I think that they pull it out. Honestly, just because of how bad the Texans are. For me, that's really what I'm basing it off of. As shitty as that is. If the Raiders don't turn the ball over too much, because they'll probably turn it over once or twice.
At least once.
If they just limit their mistakes and they get some turnovers and they score, you say the Raiders score 25 plus, I think that they have a good chance at winning the game, because I don't think Houston can score that much. I mean, DeAndre could go off, but Osweiler is just garbage.
Yeah. One thing with him that'll be interesting is to see how he responds to the benching. He even said that he's going to try and play more loose, take more shots down the field, not be captain checked out so much.
You would hope so.
Personally, I have seen Brock Osweiler in Denver play at a good enough level to win a playoff game. He's got it in him.
He's got the potential.
He's had a messed up season. He's been jacked up all season. But I honestly think, it's the playoffs. It's a fresh start for him. They could win a game at home. They could.
I mean,
they're favored by 4, too.
If they're gonna pick a team to play right now in order to win a game, they got the good fucking matchup.
Exactly. So, NFL playoffs. Every year there's that game where someone has to move on. Someone gets a win.
It's a good thing we're starting out with this game on Saturday, because to me this is the least exciting game of Wild Card Weekend, in my opinion. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe it goes a little crazy. Houston in the playoffs is always kind of interesting, but so I've got Oakland. JR's got Houston.
We're gonna be keeping track throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, we're gonna keep track all throughout the playoffs. So moving on to the second game on Saturday, 5:15. We've got the Detroit Lions at the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to start off with this one.
Go for it.
We're in San Francisco. I'm a Niner fan. I hate the Seahawks. I hate everything about the Seahawks. And they're favored in this game, by 8?
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And honestly, even without the spread, I'm taking the Detroit Lions in this game.
Damn.
And I think that Stafford is hungry. We talk about this all the time about how Stafford, he's got what it takes, but he's got to step up in these big moments. This year, how many fourth quarter comebacks has he led? How many clutch drives has he had this year? He's shown that he's got the potential and the drive to lead this team this year. So I think if I'm going to pick a team, obviously I hate the Seahawks, so I'm a little biased, but I think that Detroit goes into Seattle and wins this game. That's what I think. What do you think?
It's funny because I agree with you, and I agree for some of the same reasons and some of the different ones. I mean, I think the fact that the Lions have lost a few in a row, makes the spread what it is. Like, if they came in with a couple extra wins, like, they would not be 8-point underdogs. Because Seattle this year's not that good. I mean, I watched my Niners, like, we hung in there against Seattle in that last game, and I know that game didn't mean that much for Seattle, but still, like, from what we've seen at Seattle, like, winning at New England was their high point this year, and they won at New England, which is a huge accomplishment for them. But Russell Wilson hasn't been healthy all year. The Lions' defense is a little bit underrated. It's not as bad as people think.
I don't think so.
It's not that bad. Like, and Seattle's, they don't really have a running game right now. Like, they don't really have that many weapons on offense.
And Russell Wilson just hasn't.
Yeah, it's not going to be a blowout. It's not going to be a blowout. So, like, it's going to come down to Matt Stafford on the road, fourth quarter comeback. It's probably going to come down to that, and I think he's going to get it.
That'd be an exciting game.
It would. I think it's going to be a great game. I would tune in to that one. So, I'm going to take the Lions as well.
All right.
Yeah.
So we both got the line. We both got the upset. A couple San Francisco boys. All right.
Do it.
Moving on to Sunday, our third game of Wild Card Weekend. We got the Miami Dolphins at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to let you start off with this one.
All right, this is crazy because I actually predicted that the Dolphins would beat the Steelers in the first matchup.
Oh, yeah, you did.
But I did.
You did.
But with the same time, like, I don't know, like, in the second matchup, it's in Pittsburgh. Big Ben's way better at home. If you look at his home-road splits, they're way better at home.
Yeah.
Same thing with Antonio. Le'Veon is Le'Veon. The Dolphins have been getting gashed on the ground all season. So, I think the Steelers can just ride it out with Le'Veon. Like, last year they didn't have Le'Veon in the playoffs. People forget that.
Yeah.
And they still went far.
Yeah.
Like, they're the Pittsburgh Steelers. If they're at home, like, their chances of losing aren't very good. They're not going to lose this game.
The thing for me about Miami is they're either going to play really well or they're going to be fucking awful. Okay? And obviously on the road in Pittsburgh, it's a tough game to play against one of the most electric offenses in the league as of right now. And so, yeah, can the Dolphins get killed? Sure. But could they give them a close game if they're playing well, not turning it over, forcing turnovers, finding a way?
Dude, but do you think they're going to force turnovers?
Dude,
against big men at home doesn't really turn it over.
But what I'm saying is,
that's what he did in the first matchup.
There's teams that find a way sometimes. There's teams that just have that kind of grit, and if it just depends on really, I think, how this game starts off.
Yeah.
If the first couple drives for Pittsburgh end in touchdowns, I don't see Miami picking it up in the second half and coming back. But if Big Ben gets hit while throwing a ball, it's a pick six to start off the game. This game could be weird.
Okay,
if
but
Miami
do
plays
you actually
really
think
well.
It's going to be weird? Like, what is your prediction? I mean, I've got the Steelers. Like, who do you actually have? Because there's one thing.
I'm going to say I have Miami in this game.
Oh,
I'm going to go out on a limb right now.
Okay.
I'm going to say I have Miami upsetting Pittsburgh in this game. Now I have to watch this game now. But Miami is going to upset Pittsburgh in this game. Miami's so weird because I feel like they could win this game somehow and then get blown out the next game because they're just so weird. Like,
yeah, they are.
They can either play really well or really bad. And I feel like they're such a laughingstock in terms of all of these other teams. I feel like no one respects Miami whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so, if they go in there with the right attitude, the right mindset, I think they pull off an upset. So,
wow,
we'll see what happens. Last game of Wild Card Weekend, the afternoon game on Sunday, we've got the New York Giants at the Green Bay Packers. So I'm going to start off by saying I think the Packers are going to win this game. I think it's rough. I remember watching the Giants as a wild card team go into Green Bay and beat Green Bay and then go on to beat my Niners and then go on to win the Super Bowl. So
let's not bring that up.
Yeah, I know. It's sad. Sad life. Kyle Williams, wherever you are. But the Giants, dude, I haven't trusted them all year. They've been so weird to me. Like, and they've been so under the radar this year, which kind of scares me. And they kind of seem to do that with, like, their little, like, they're 11-5. They don't seem like an 11-5 team to me. But I will say Aaron Rodgers has played a phenomenal past few weeks to end the season, and he's just on fire. And at home, Aaron Rodgers is a beast, bro. I think Aaron Rodgers goes over the top this week and really does enough for the Packers to pull off a victory in Green Bay. What about you?
I don't personally see it. I mean, I think the Giants have the ownage down in Lambeau, and I think, like, they did lose in Lambeau earlier this season on Sunday Night Football, but in that game, they were right there at the end. Like, they came up a little bit short, and they were kind of in a funk at that time. Like, they were banged up, especially on the offensive line, but I think this Giants team is very underlooked, and I like the vibe in New York. Like, I mean, I think with the new coach,
I feel like they're underlooked too.
I think they're bonded as a team. And, like, Green Bay, like, Aaron Rodgers has been super hot, but, like, he's also had some really good matchups. So, I mean, I think for the Giants to win, their offense would have to play better than it has been because they've won all these games without the offense playing that well.
Yeah.
And their defense this year isn't as bad as last year where they would give up 30. Like, they're not going to give up 30 in this game probably because if they do, they're not going to win. So
no, I think, if the Packers are going to lose this game, which they're not, but if they were to lose this game, the Giants would have to hold them to some low scoring.
I like the Giants' defense this year.
The Giants but they can't outscore Green Bay.
Right.
If they get into a shootout, there's just no way that's going to go well.
No.
I don't care if it's Odell.
Right.
I don't care about any of that. There's just no way. Because it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but you're right.
I don't think it, and I think that they're gonna like play the game as if like it's like they don't want it to be a shootout. Like
no.
Anytime a team goes into Lambeau and like wants to be in a shootout, it's great to watch, but it's not smart for that team because you're not gonna come away from Lambeau and win in a shootout. But I'm taking the Giants. I think that their defense is underrated. I think their defense is gonna play well. Landon Collins having a hell of a year. He's my defensive player of the year, honestly. He is a monster. He could get a pick six on his own. Like, he is that much of a playmaker. So,
All right, so let's overview real quick. So, first game of Wild Card Weekend, I've got the Raiders. You've got the Texans. Second game, we've both got the Lions at Seattle.
yeah.
The third game, I'm taking the Miami Dolphins. He's taking the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then last game, I'm taking Green Bay in Lambeau while he's taking the Giants. Sound good?
Yeah, that's what we got. Right.
So next week, after these games conclude, we're going to hit you with another episode. We're going to tally up our points, see how well we did, and then we're going to pick the next week upcoming, and then we're going to try to see who we got.
It's going to be crazy next week.
That.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to see those teams play a lot. So we'll see what happens.